Hello everyone, I'm bringing you a video today from Victory Show, obviously 2025 at Victory Show. We normally come to the Victory Show and obviously put on a display of jungle uniform equipment, set up a little encampment in the woods, which is what we're doing again this year, representing Chindits in early 1944. Obviously, typically Chindits is something we cover here, a topic we cover here. People find it very interesting, and certainly there have been quite a few people who've dropped by the display so far and have certainly asked a lot of interesting questions, and it's always good talking to people in that regard. Probably limited filming. I'm only here one day this year, so there'll probably be limited scope to film. I'll try and do a bit of a walk around the woods, maybe have a look at one of the other displays, and obviously we'll have a look at some of the details of the Chindit display as well. That's what we're going to have a look at in the video. I do hope you enjoy.
You may be the most important person here in terms of interaction.
So rather than me running through the kit I'm wearing, which I normally do, you've seen my Chindit kit previously, so I'm going to hand you over to Toby King here, who's here with Jungle Green, and he's going to run through his kit that he's wearing here and talk us through it. So take it away, Toby.
Hello. So we train the second Black Watch during Operation Thursday in 1944. We've got a lot of Jungle Green Indian webbing, first of all. Jungle Green trousers, wool shirt, and yeah, basically just as we move along here, I'll do a little twirl.
Yeah.
As I said, a lot of Indian made stuff, so Indian Dar on my side here. All the webbing's Indian as well. I just move around. Just do a little twirl there. Indian anklets as well. A lot of people usually ditch the anklets. You see a lot of the kit, obviously, as operations move along, it all got damaged heavily as well. So as you say, it's all torn apart.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, well-weathered trousers, which will be typical of the, obviously.
All be completely webbed to bits. There's stories of lads with dysentery just having the complete crotch of their uniform cut out. As the obviously operations move along, it just all breaks down and rots off you.
And that goes for the web equipment as well,
exactly,
not just the uniform. Absolutely.
Exactly. So equipped with Mark III as well, SMLE. A lot of you see some obviously officers more as well have M1 carbines. A lot of American equipment as well that was obviously given to us. A couple of lads here have got M1 carbines and obviously Sten guns as well. Just various different bits of Indian equipment and
basic pouches, bandolier, etc.
Haversack as well. Mosquito net as well on the back.
Yes.
For obviously in the evenings and that, if you don't want to get eaten alive.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Fantastic. So Sam is going to open up a, what have we got there, a dinner unit in the K rations. I'll have a quick look at this.
The accessory packet. We've done. And the main meal, which is obviously processed cheese in this one. Shouldn't fall out in the container whatsoever. Packet of Lucky Strikes.
This is Hikari, and he's going to run through his Chinese Second World War kit, which is a little bit unusual to see, so I thought it was worth dropping by and letting him run through what he's wearing. So please take it away.
Yes, so this is the uniform that worn by World War II Chinese soldiers before 1935, and they wore this until the end of war. So the helmet were bought from Germany So they were imported from Germany because they have a very good relationship between China and Germany. Until the 1939, Japan became an ally with Axis, and Germany turned to choose Japan instead of China. And this is the uniform design pre-war as well, and that is Bandolier. And this is the Type 24 Mauser, which was produced in China under the license from Mauser. And this is the bayonet for Mauser, haversack and water bottle.
Fantastic.
Yeah, pretty much everything. Oh, that's the putties.
Yes.
And due to reason that China lacked resources, so we didn't equip much boots. So we just put resources on priority, which is weapons and uniform. So for footwear, we just wear simple shoes or even grass sandals.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for that. Very interesting. Here we are with Alan P, and he's going to run through his Japanese kit. Please take it away, Alan.
So I'm portraying a Japanese soldier during the Burma campaign. This particular outfit can go from 1943 to 45. Starting from the top, I have my Type 90 helmet. It has a helmet cover, and typically they'll also have a helmet net where you can attach foliage to. You can see it uses a string tie system. It's quite secure once you have it all done up. And underneath my helmet, you can see I have my heel cap turned backwards, so it acts as an extra liner and makes it more comfortable. And my shirt is it's an anti-heat shirt. It's not their tropical uniform, it's just their undershirt. And it's in a khaki color. Some colors is green, white, and you'll have a two-tone color with khaki collars and a white base, but typically you'll see khaki in the mid-late war period. And my rank is Jotohei, or superior private, with 3 stars. And I have double collars, sometimes ranks in the double collars here, but sometimes they'll have ranks underneath their breast pocket. And then here I have my leather belt set. So these are early coat pouches that can hold 30 rounds in each box. And in the back here, I have my reserve box.
Reserve ammunition.
60 rounds. So in total, I'll have 120 rounds. And then at the side here, I have my haversack. It's basically a carry-all sack. It'll have my ammunition, 24 hours worth of rations, and other toiletries. And I have my canteen. And then here is a small detail, but it's a omamori pouch. You'll keep all your shrine charms in here for good luck. And then going to here, I have my Type 30 bayonet. This is a bayonet cover. And then I have a keeper to keep the bayonet from sliding out during harsh movement. And I got my wristwatch here. And then I'll have my compass. And down here I'll have my putties. Normally you'll see them in an X configuration. It keeps the folds down when you're crawling through the ground, but I have it in a garrison tie, so it's just around here. And then I have my hobnailed boots right here. And my service rifle is the Type 38. It's introduced in 1906. It's a 5-round stripper clip fed bolt action rifle. And it has a very distinct dust cover, and it uses a 6.5mm cartridge. And a lot of troops would still be carrying these during the latter stages of the war, but a lot of them would also be issued the Type 99 rifle, which is the successor, and it uses a larger 7.7mm cartridge, which is based off the .303 British. And that is pretty much it.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Alan. Much appreciated. So I'm here with Nathan Thompson, who is going to talk me through a bit of his, well, the display basically, but obviously we're talking South African kit and so forth here. So please take it away, Nathan.
So today at the Victory Show, we are portraying members of the Pretoria Regiment in Madagascar, which was sent over with the South African 7th Motorised Brigade to aid fighting against the French. Because there were apparently fears at the time the Japanese might come over, work with the French, and use Madagascar as a base for submarines and such. So as a bit of a preemptive thing, it was first the British that attacked Madagascar, and then because of things happening in North Africa and going awry, so British troops were prioritised to go there, and South Africans got sent over. So what we're trying to represent here is a roadblock, essentially, or a checkpoint. The unit we're portraying at the moment, how do I put it? The particular position we're in is just north of Anamakia. In period maps, it can also be called Damakia, but it's called Anamakia now. And so it's sort of very woody terrain. So this is very appropriate surroundings for us. So would you like me to go over a bit of kit?
Yes, please. That would be good. Yeah.
Grab my equipment. So this is a fairly standard setup for the South Africans during this point in the war. We've got it horrendously tangled up. Try and extricate it. There we go. So South Africa, at the beginning of the war, their army wasn't very big, and so they had some expansion, and in order to equip everyone, they had to outsource for a lot of stuff. So very common was Canadian-made webbing. So I've got Canadian-made cartridge carriers, early type Canadian cross straps. It's not quite reduction weave, but it's their attempt at reduction weave. And then this is a South African-made bayonet frog. Nicely South African marked bayonet as well. See, you have the proof mark there. The camera's focused on or not. And then on the other side is actually a South African Air Force Mark 1, which is quite scarce. But yeah, so basically pre-Italy really, the South Africans were only equipped with cartridge carriers. Unless you're part of a Bren team, then you have the requisite pouches. There's some interesting photos actually from East Africa where there's a Bren gunner and he has one cartridge carrier and one Bren pouch, which is quite an unusual look. But yeah, so this is quite standard, a regular Canadian woodbox cradle. This one's 1940 dated. You've got a wet canvas to see the date properly. So that's the basic setup, and then again, outsourcing. We have a New Zealand-made water bottle. This one still has the paper label at the bottom. New Zealand-made water bottle, and then a Canadian-made haversack with some items in it. So we have a mess tin, of course. The other mess tin. We've got sewing kit, we've got a towel with a block of soap. We've got foot powder and a mirror in there. Here, and then hold all with the usual items. Make sure stuff doesn't fall out. Yeah, in here we've got some toothpaste and shaving brush. Spoon's not in here because it's in my pocket at the moment. Period razor, blades, a toothbrush, comb, spare laces. The reason these laces are brown is because the South African-made ammunition boots were actually brown, but mine are presently getting resold, so I'm having to use the black ones, which were also common. But again, they outsourced a lot of equipment. There was quite a mishmash of stuff, and then on the bottom here we have just standard jumper. Well, is there anything else that you would like me to particularly go over?
I think that's the information you've given there is very interesting, and thank you. That's brilliant. Thanks very much, Nathan. Superb. Well, we could perhaps talk about the badge and the helmet. Actually, would be.
So, like I said before, we're portraying the Pretoria Regiment, so you have your Pretoria Regiment badge there. This one in particular is a subdued one. It is worn down a bit, but it would have originally been black. It kind of looks a bit bronze now. But this is the South African pip helmet, also known as the polo helmet. Similarities to civilian polo helmets. This was the standard item of headgear for the South African forces. They really only adopted the steel helmet fully in about 1941-1942, but this still saw widespread use. Pictures from the troops in Madagascar, I haven't seen one yet where one is actually wearing a steel helmet, and that's 1943. So yeah, very popular. You see a lot in the desert, and then even towards the later stages when the troops are in Italy, you see a lot of these with the Air Force guys still. I'll show you the interior. It's simple leather sweatband. If I get a bit closer, you can see the markings. See in there. This is quite a late one actually. This is
yes.
1945.
You see the inspection stamp on the right there, the U, yeah. That's brilliant. Yeah, picked that up okay, thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Superb. Thank you very much indeed.
You're very welcome.
That's brilliant. So I'm here with Eric Vessel from Stabs Company, and he is going to run through the Polish era German, Wehrmacht kit here, German Army that he's wearing. So please take it away.
Danke, das ist sehr liebenswürdig von dir. So, eine herzlich willkommen zu dem ersten Tag von den Polenfeldzug. So, very nice warm welcome to you on the first day of German Army's campaign in Poland 1939. As you can see here, we've just crossed over the Polish border. We've managed to take that out with much opposition. And what I've got here for you today is a display of the German uniform and equipment of the average fighting man throughout the Polish campaign. Now, the idea that the German army in 1939 was this machine that was fully mechanised, that was having brand new equipment, is somewhat of a myth, and this can be seen in the equipment I'm wearing for you. So as you can notice, the Stahl helmet itself is actually a First World War reissue M16 helmet. However, it does have the addition of the German insignia from the Wehrmacht era on either side. In addition to that, there are many hangovers from the First World War. So German soldiers would often be seen using bread bag straps to help stiffen up their equipment, to help take the weight of that. The German uniform itself is M36 style, with the collar, you can see. Now, this uniform itself was very difficult to make, and there were many parts of it, such as the bottle green collar, that were later done away with in 1940 for a more standardised uniform. As well as that, we have the standard equipment, so the ammo pouches, the side cap with the white Waffenfarbe to indicate that the person wearing it is in the infantry, standard Gott mit uns belt buckle. However, one of the earlier items of kit that we can see are what's known as the Stein trousers. Now that translates to stone grey. Now again, this was giving the image of a very sort of fashionable German army, a very clean-cut army, but again, it was something that was done away with in about 1940, because it was something that was rather expensive to produce, and the economies of war meant it was feasible. Again, German these again were a staple of the early war period, and if we turn around now, on the left-hand side, we can see the entrance. And for the German soldier on the right-hand side, we can see his canteen for his water, and then his Brotbeutel, which was the German army bread bag in which he would keep his weapon cleaning kit and also various. So that gives you a good idea of what the average German soldier was wearing throughout the entirety of the Poland campaign.
That's brilliant, thank you very much. Gunfire aside, I think that came off very well, so thank you very much.
I think there are a few poles still cutting about, but we'll soon take care of that.
Thank you so much. So there it is, that's Victory Show 2025. Obviously limited scope for filming here. I didn't have a huge amount of time, but we got round a little bit of the, certainly the woodland displays, and that area that's been expanded this year, which is great. So I've really enjoyed it, as I say, it's been good talking to people. Hopefully you've enjoyed this brief bit of footage looking at some of the displays at the show. That's everything I wanted to cover here, or that I've been able to cover here. Obviously, if you have enjoyed this and you'd like to see more of this sort of thing, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the notification button down below. That will of course alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you would like to support the channel, you can. Both Patreon and PayPal are linked down below. And as I always say, a huge thank you to everybody who supports the channel using those two methods. It really is greatly appreciated. Thank you all very much indeed. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. Facebook, Instagram and Twitter are all linked down below. And of course, if you'd like to get in touch with me but you don't really use social media, there is an email address in the description as well. That's everything for this video. So until next time, bye for now. Come on.